So, hello everyone here. Time to talk about more bad news, I guess, right? Or not news, but this is news to some extent. Crunchyroll, Funimation, right, are merging. Really know about it, but now we have this shit happening, right? The blue Crunchyroll sign. And, yeah, Ghislaine, you're gonna be banned. So, let's talk about it, right? On this channel, I feel I try to avoid political stuff too much. But when it comes to anime, right, it's getting more and more SUV, woke, whatever, blah, blah. All these terms you can use, right? But certainly, though, it is very clear that the issue for Crunchyroll is that woke progressive stuff, right? And, you know, I am not on the right or whatever, right? But it's an obvious issue when it comes to anime. And I talk about it, of course, these latest weeks now, with the Crunchyroll Awards, right? Where they, of course, refuse to have Mushoku Tensei, you know. They're like, we have to have Mushoku Tensei in, like, fantasy, right? But they refuse to have, you know, best girl, you know, best protagonist, whatever. Right? It's so absurdly obvious that Crunchyroll already is censoring or trying to avoid, you know, talking about certain animes, right? And it was Funimation is actually even worse coming to that. But obviously, these kind of animes, they hate animes like Mushoku, right? And I tweeted this thing, and, you know, put my tweet and so on. If you look at this thing here, you can actually see, right, this is the stats from the Reddit Anime Awards. They've also, of course, looked at earlier, last week and so on. And these awards, you can see that Tensei, right, is incredibly more popular than Slime. And again, I like Slime. I'm saying that Slime is a bad anime. My point is that Tensei is incredibly more popular, right? But according to Crunchyroll, they are basically claiming that no one voted for Mushoku Tensei, and that is bullshit, right? And it was only in fantasy, no one voted for it, and Slime won. And obviously the judges have too much power and so on. It's obviously just a sheet, right? It's rigged, and, you know, they hate Tensei. So we already see it from, of course, Crunchyroll. They don't want to have, you know, Oppa Cat and like and so on. But it gets worse, right? Because Funimation is even more notorious for this stuff, right? We have seen they, of course, first and foremost, completely ban Interspecies Reviewers. Like you see here, I'm sitting here showing you, look at my cream best girl, right? To go on my cream best girl, also because I just did gender bender reaction on Twitch, but of course, cream, right? The best girl of best girls, the futanori, cutesy, Interspecies Reviewers, obviously banned by Funimation. Yeah, Funimation, of course, had this anime, completely removed it, right? Because it wasn't like family friendly enough or whatever. Even though the anime doesn't actually have any actual, you know, sex, right? It's just hinted to it a lot and talked about it, but it actually never happens, right? And I think it actually is a really good anime. It's really fun, well written, right, so on. But also, of course, it's pretty crazy. But the point is that Funimation are very known for being prudes. They're very known for being like, we can't have this like sex jokes, we can't have this like etchy scenes, so we remove it, right? We used to watched Kenya, right, the gender bender anime, that is very censored in the anime compared to the novel. Funimation is part of that thing, right? So, so anyway, I'm making this video here, not that it's actually anything news, because of course people already know that, you know, Sony bought Crunchyroll and they're combining this blues thing and so on, right? But I feel it's worth it to mention again that it does feel like anime is gonna get worse from this thing, right? And the Western anime is gonna get worse, especially the West. But also generally speaking, right? Because while people all say that, no, but Japan is immune, they don't care about this, like, you know, people, they just do stuff. It is not true. You know, anime is definitely way more mainstream now. Its anime is more, you know, say it's open to West people buying and so on. And anime studios, to some extent, at least, try, right, to pander to the West, thinking it's gonna sell them more, which of course is a mistake for that, man. It's obviously a mistake, though, which is kind of funny because they don't sell more because they panders. If anything, I wish my video here would reach Japanese people working on these animes, right, and manga and so on. Because no, you don't sell more anime or whatever mangas because you pander to the crazy people in West, right? No. You sell less. People like your anime because you stay true, right, to good writing, good character, and you don't censor stuff, right? So it's of course unfortunately though, what we've already seen, and this is why Funimation and Crunchyroll is really scary, is that they are censoring stuff in games a lot with Sony. So I want to make the video here to really point things out, and that's why I am honestly scared about, you know, honestly, the anime is going to get worse, right, by this deal. And today then it was like finalized or whatever you call it, right? We see the blue Crunchyroll sign, it's the 1st of March today here, and it's basically like a done deal. So you can see, for example, Devil May Cry, right, got censored by Sony. So Sony has notoriously been censoring video games, right, with too much ecchi or horror stuff in the West. And the reason why, because I work in the industry mostly with, I work with IT, right, and I work with video games mostly in my life, right. So a lot of people in the industry, a lot of people are Sony and so on, right. I also, for that matter, full disclosure, I have Sony stock, right. I have a few little money in Sony and so on. Because, for example, the PlayStation said a lot, but also because they bought Crunchyroll, so I bought more stock. Because, like, well, they own anime, I guess I have to buy Sony, right? I also have to cut accounts, whatever. So, full disclosure, right? I have some money in Sony. Yes, I'm sitting and saying that this is crap. but honestly, they own kind of anime now in the West, right? Because I was against this from an antitrust law thing, that they would allow them to buy Crunchyroll, because it basically means that they have the both two platforms. They distribute almost all the anime in the West now, right? Mostly in America, but also mostly in Europe as well and so on. It's a 100% monopoly, but it definitely feels like a very huge, close to monopoly, right? Especially in America, so I feel it's horrible. But anyway, Devil May Cry, censored by Sony, right? Not censored on the PC or whatever, or Xbox or whatever, only in PlayStation. And we see this stuff happening, right, to horror games and so on too. And unfortunately, the reason why mainly is because this is a little, well, I know then, and people thought about it, but back, okay, is because when it comes to PlayStation 4 and 5, especially around 4, for whatever reason, Sony is letting the people in California, mostly then, controlling what they do with the gaming and so on. For whatever reason, they fully blindly trust these people in America to censor and so on. And the Japanese productions is just like, okay, whatever guys, you in America do whatever you want. So they have very, very high control of what they do on their PS4 and so on, and also PS5 now then, but it started on PS4, and it's terrible, right? And we keep seeing anime too. That's why, and these people working on Sony PlayStation in America, right, are to some extent the exact same people working on Funimation and now then Crunchyroll, and some of them are the exact same people because up in the hierarchy, right, it's the same people. So it is not very good. And we have all types too, right? We have the Bofuri scene, that they remove like a butt joke scene, right? Those kind of weird stuff where they don't remove it, but they cannot rewrite. So I speak Japanese, right? To some extent. I'm not fluent, but I can understand Japanese fairly well. I can watch an anime, I understand it fairly well, right? It's hard to speak to someone like, in public, but an anime is easy, right? And so when I watch this kind of sub sometimes, I can easily hear she said something else, right? The jokes is very, very strange, yeah. So what they do is that they have the animation, right, and they have, of course, the sub, rewritten the sub to not actually mean what the joke was, right. You see it all the time, honestly, in minor details, not only in the anime, but Funimation is notorious for doing it a lot, right. And the worst example, I would say, is actually this in here, in Kaguya-sama, where, like, okay, yeah, that's better, sorry, yeah, where she's like, it's a goof joke, yeah. It's a COVID joke. So this is of course not what Shika said, right? Shika is like, why are you angry at me for Geisha? Yeah, it's like Geisha and so on, right? And she's not saying this at all. And for whatever reason, the translator threw in like a COVID joke, right? Completely unnecessary. And this pissed off a lot of people, right, from Funimation, because not only was it completely not what she said whatsoever, not even close to what she said, right? But it also, of course, adds into, like, the real-life issues that you don't want to have watching an anime, right? Like, for example, if I watch an anime today I watch the gender-bender anime, right? And they have this, yaoi, like, fighting scene, right? And when the main character is trying to seduce Yin-Yokan and, trying to get him, right, over the yaoi guy. What if she said, like, what are you doing? Are you putting me or something? It would be so strange, right? If she threw out some kind of Russian-Ukrainian conflict comment, right? It wouldn't make any sense. Of course, she didn't say that, but one of the subtitles was like, oh yeah, you think you're Putin or something, what? Yeah, but of course she said something completely as Japanese, but the text says that. It would be ridiculously stupid, right? That's kind of what Funimation did with Kaguya-sama. Less extreme, I guess, but still very much like social event happening currently in the world. Let's have the subtitle be that instead of actually being what's happening in the anime, right? So, am I afraid that the Crunchyroll library is going to change? Not really. But in the future, I definitely, honestly do believe that anime is going to get more censored and, get worse, right? In this combination of Funimation, Crunchyroll thing, whatever, right? Creating this blue abomination I thought about. And also, of course, animes like then Interspecies Reviewers or what, like I'm wearing right now, you know, the cream shirt, you know, again, cream, best good cream, so right. I do imagine that these shows are not gonna get picked up at all, right? And that's the problem with Monopoly, right? Because if you have a monopoly, and whatever that monopoly believes in, okay, we're gonna have extra shows. Okay, so we're lying also. I'm a you know, freedom, you know, extreme activist. No, but I'm a very, very, you know, liberal person, right? And that's one reason why I hate censorship. Because, okay, see, if you censor Interspecies Reviewers, something like that, and then it's like, Idaten, done with the same author, has some R scene, okay, let's remove the anime too. That's all censored, okay, can't be on anime, okay, remove it from the platforms, okay. And then what next? Goblin Slayer, okay, that's gone right. And then we go down it, take a tight, people die in that, you know. And then eventually you have nothing left, right? Because you have to remove animes, right? You have to keep removing stuff that is controversial or whatever. Obviously, again, Mushoku Tensei, you know, freaking Best Girl Gets Slain. This anime would very likely be removed, right? Actually, I feel that it's pretty close to being already, but this kind of shows that this new, you know, abomination, Crunchyroll, Funimation, Monopoly thing probably doesn't want to have, right? Because you know, big titties, right? And obviously some sex scene, you know, rude in areas, spoilers, but you know, talking about this kind of stuff would actually probably be banned eventually, right? If it's a bad, it basically is already kind of banned because they're, you know, as I thought about, they of course refuse to have it right in any of the categories at one, and they're trying to pretend that it never aired, you know, they're trying to lie that no one voted for it. I mean, they're already doing their best, their finest, right, to basically censor potentially as best as they can, right? And now then they have almost all the streaming platforms, and almost what happens is, right, what's very scary is that you think they're gonna stop from here. No, they're gonna buy the other platforms too, right? They're gonna keep buying them until they have the 100% monopoly. And then you can just say that, well, these animes are not okay, right? So, yeah, it's very, very scary. The only thing I would say is the last thing here that I hope is gonna happen is that still though, the owners and people like me actually want shareholders. So honestly, right, I feel annoyed from my own economic standpoint too. Again, full disclosure, right? As I have a little money in Sony, I would love if they completely fired all of these crazy SUV people, right? And let people like me said run the business. No, but like, you know, honestly, as a shareholder, I'm serious, like, please fire these morons, right? Seriously, because I don't think that my share is gonna go up as much as if we actually do allow all these good animes, right? Because in the end, what makes the stock go up is sales, right? You know, it's not about, oh no, we have to ban this anime because it goes like a sexy cat girl. No, people you know, pay for what they want to have, right? So I have to admit that, yeah, it's kind of funny that I'm shitting on Sony, but at the same time I actually want to see change, right? Because I want to have better animes. And honestly, for my own economical, I guess, value, I don't have that many shares. Don't get me wrong, I have a few $100s, so it's not that much money. But I mean, it's been like, my $100 can easier become $110 if they, you know, try to actually sell stuff people want to have, right? But I'm just, again, I don't have much money, so it's full disclosure, right? But honestly, yeah, I guess it's I think it's easily probably better for me and for everyone else. It's better for the community. It's better for anime fans, and it's also better for people that actually are invested in Sony if they actually, you know, make what people want. Let people have what they want, right? Because then they're gonna buy more of it. It's pretty obvious. So I guess my last hope, I said again here, is that eventually Sony is gonna realize that these people are crazy and they're gonna lose money on that. And you spent like $1 billion, you know, buying all this anime shit, right? And they have to make the money back somehow. You can't just ban and censor all the good stuff, right? Because then no one's gonna buy anything for you. But anyway, that's the, you know, today's abomination. So you guys soon with Elden Ring. I play a few Elden Ring for hours a day, and there's more abominations and horror stuff. More horror stuff, but horror stuff you could kill with a sword or something, right? Which is easier. Otherwise, you know, check out the list below, right, for the Crunchyroll stuff, the anime stuff, and so on. We also, of course, discussed a lot of this wokeness and censoring, and it's a lot about, I guess one word better for Crunchyroll is probably lying by admission, where they're like, you know, pretending that it's anime. Yeah, they're a lot about pretending. They're like, oh, here's like top 10, you know, best comedy animes, and they pretend that a few animes doesn't exist, right? Best opening, they pretend that this anime doesn't exist. Yeah, it's a lot like that. They kind of like, they pretend like 20 animes never aired, basically. That's most of their strategy, yeah, lying by pretension that they never happened. They're like, oh, heard about this thing. But anyway, subscribe, clap button, and have a great day.